Rugby would if I was.
Hello and welcome to Warriors HQ. Earlier today we announced our team to play Connacht tomorrow night at a sold-out Scotstoun Stadium. The game is live on BBC Alba and kick-off is at 7:35. We start this week's episode with a visit to the analysis section where I'm joined by Kenny Murray. Welcome back to the analysis section of Warriors HQ. I'm joined this week by Kenny Murray. Kenny, tough result to take down in Scarlets. How do we bounce back from that this week?
Yeah, obviously not the result we'd hoped to get. We prepared pretty well for the game. We knew it was going to be a tough game going away from home against a team who were playing really well, but probably on the day we didn't perform the way we wanted to, and we probably got what we deserved from the game. Great this week, we've got a big home game to come back to against Connacht, and obviously still sort of striving to get those 4 points. We need to guarantee ourselves a home semi-final, so yeah, we've got a lot to play for, but bits of our game we need to improve.
Scarlets attacked really well on the weekend. The first clips about how we dealt with some of their attack shapes. Talk us through these. Yeah,
this sort of highlights Scarlets' attack shape and really what they throw at you. They're a very good attacking side, very well coached. They mix their game up a lot using decoy runners and just try and pick you off with certain attack shapes. So if we have a look through this one to start, you saw that there, Greg. So the first thing you see there is they like to get good width in their attack line, so they look to really pull your defence out wide, and they carry really hard. So we'll play this one through. Just hold it there, Greg, you come back. Big thing about Scarlet's attack is they've got really good balance in their attack, and they really work hard to give both sides of the ball options. So it was really important for our defence at the weekend that we had really good balance, so we could defend both sides of that breakdown. So we keep playing through here, Greg. Okay, a lot of the ball goes through Patchell, as you can see here. Hold it there, Greg. One of the things that's really good about the Scarlets' attack is the work rate to get back into the attack shape. They work really hard to recycle themselves in attack. And a big part of our defence at the weekend was getting good width and spacing. So as you see here, in this situation, we're pretty well organised. See Sam Johnson, good example here of starting to nominate, something we could have done a little bit better on the inside. But we've got good width and spacing, and now we're looking to put a bit of pressure on their attack. So coming up as a line, which is important. Okay, dominating that collision. It's really good work there by Swinnow and Rob. So just another trait of the Scarlets' attack. They look to try and get you on the outside using sort of what we call a release shape. So play it through, Greg. So playing off Patchell, just try to get a sort of outside that decoy runner to try and get you on the edge and drag your attack. Hold it there, Greg. So again, for us, we're pretty happy with our spacing here. One thing we probably could have done a little bit better at the weekend was just our line speed once we get set. Particularly when we see here a forward as first receiver, John Bartley, we know that he's either going to carry, tip it on or put it out the back to a support player. But we'll keep playing, Greg. So you see here that release play out the back to Patchell, really putting us under pressure. Really good work by Callum Gibbins, recognising that, putting us under pressure, hold it there. Just for us, probably a little bit in terms of improvements from the weekend, we probably overpopulated that short side. So again, just our decision making when to fold could have been a little bit better to give us better width on our defence. But we'll keep playing, Greg. So you just see that mindset from Scarlets to keep sort of playing wide to wide, trying to move the defence about, working hard again in our attack shape. So this is something that we previewed with Scarlets, that not only do they look to try and tip the ball out to a support player, but you see here as we play it, Greg. Okay, just tips back inside, trying to pick off maybe a defender that's not worked hard enough to get into that position. So again, a lot of ball coming through Patchell, good width in the Scarlets' attack. We're having to recover a bit now. Okay, just really hold it there, Greg. It's really important for us there how hard we're working to dominate collisions. As you can see, if we get one or two collisions, we don't dominate and let them get in behind us. Suddenly we're on the back foot, and then generally what will happen is teams will narrow in defence. So we keep playing through here. Okay, we're looking out here for Sam Johnson. So on the bottom left here. Sam comes up through and gets a really good steal. So we take that back to the ruck, Greg, and we'll talk through why that was important. So Sam's made a really good read, and we'll hold it just as Patchell gets it, Greg. Stop there. So Sam's came in there to have a spot tackle. One of the reasons he's done that is he felt we were under a lot of pressure here because we got a bit narrow in our defence. But the triggers for Sam on that are Patchell doesn't have any inside support player, so Sam knows if he can close that pass down, Patchell has nothing else on the inside, so you can really go at him. So a good example here, if we play through again, of Sam making a hit, ground to feet work back in the game and forcing a really good turnover.
It's an amazing tackle, but how risky is it if Patchell did manage to get the ball through his hands there? Were we under pressure if Sam had mistimed that slightly?
The key to that is getting the relationships and the connections between Sam and the wingers. So the wingers know that if Sam's going, they've got to come with him, because under that kind of pressure, Patchell may be able to get a pass away, but Sam knows that the winger's going to be coming with him, so that he knows that pass will get closed down by his winger. If there's a disconnect and one goes and the other one doesn't, that's when it puts you under pressure.
So what did you see that you liked? We're going to speak about kick chase. We're going to need to see more of this against Connacht, don't we?
Yeah, this is just a good example of us applying some pressure with our kick chase. So the key players here on the short side are Callum Gibbins and Tommy Seymour. So we play through Greg. So got a good kick by Ali, applying a bit of pressure. Really good chase by Tommy, but just that physicality in our collision. Go getting up, putting you under pressure. Hold it there, Greg. So key thing for us in our kick chase is about getting a really good line speed initially from the chase. At the first contact, applying some pressure with our first collision or dominant tackle. If there's an opportunity to win ball, we'll do that. But then the line speed in that second phase and trying to win that ball back is really important. So here's a good example of us coming up together. It's a good line speed. We could maybe get a better contact there from Ollie. But you see how we've knocked him back a couple of phases. And then we force them into kicking the ball there. So what we spoke about before the game is about shaping Scarlets' attack. Scarlets are a team who like to play, but we wanted to force them into something different, which was kicking the ball, which is what we did in that situation.
You spoke a bit about Callum Gibbins already. He's captain against Connacht tomorrow night. What physicality are we going to need to see from him?
Yeah, I mean, he brings a real sharp edge to the team. He's obviously a back rower of real high quality coming from Southern Hemisphere and obviously Hurricanes, but he's already shown this year in the games he's played that, you know, he's bringing a real physicality to the game and bringing others with him. So here's a couple of examples of what the benefits we're getting from him. So this first one here, we get a tackle, stop there, Greg. So what Callum does well there is he wins the race. So he wins the race between himself and the opposition 7 to get on that ball. He's got sort of clamped on it. He's won the race in there, which means he can, you know, stay on that ball. Really good body position, so a good wide base between Callum's feet, sinking his hips down, flat back, and then really making sure he's difficult to move.
Just how hard is it to shift someone when they get in that locked in position?
Very, very difficult. I think in the modern game in particular now, you good 7s who can, you know, get into that position quickly, win the racing in quickly. It's difficult to then get them off the ball, as Callum obviously shows here. So yeah, it's something that he'll do a lot of work in that every week, as a lot of other guys will do, just to make sure they're really strong in that position. But it's a really big part of our defence, making sure we're winning turnovers like that. Yeah, it's another example here. Obviously the ball hits the post and comes out, but just Callum's physicality. So you see him coming in here. You know, we talk about, you know, winning races, running sharp lines. So I think the key thing here for us is that there's no hesitation. Callum sees that the ball carrier's under a bit of pressure, and he comes in and really makes a really good contact in the ball.
Had to be alert as well, didn't he, for that post to come back to read what's happening.
That's right. Very engaged to what was happening and supported Finn in the contact area. So just as the tackle was made by Sam, the one we looked at earlier, you watch Callum coming in now. He goes slowly, Greg. He sees that's the potential threats in here, the support players from Scarlets, and he just takes that threat away, which allows us to obviously get in and recycle that ball. So yeah, he's a smart player and a very physical player.
Well, we hope to see more of that against Connacht tomorrow night.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us on Warriors HQ. Thanks again, Kenny.
No problem.
We'll be back at the same time next week. Every day this week, Scotstouners played host to the Carla Holmes Young Warriors Easter Camps. Boys and girls of all ages were invited to the home of the Warriors to have fun and learn new rugby skills. Having played for Melrose in last year's BT Cup final, Glasgow Warriors loosehead prop Jamie Bhatti went along to the Silver Saturday launch at BT Murrayfield. Our friends at Scottish Rugby TV caught up with him.
Jamie, you played for Melrose in last year's final and played a pivotal role. What was it like representing the club in such an important match at BT Murrayfield?
That was a massive day for the club. Obviously, weeks before we played Ayr in the league final and we got beat by them, so it was good to get one up on them on the national pitch and lift the trophy at the end of it.
Is there a different feel to maybe playing for Melrose as it would be for playing for Glasgow in the 1872 Cup decider?
I wouldn't say there's a different feel. It's just another game of rugby with a different top on your back at the end of the day. So, but for the 1872 Cup, it's got to be a tough match against Edinburgh.
How are you looking forward to this day in terms of the 1872 Cup decider, combined with the massive event that is BT Cup Finals Day?
I think it'll be good for club rugby. Try and get down early, watch a couple of games before it.
Having played for both Melrose and Stirling County in your career so far, will you be taking sides in this year's BT Cup final?
I don't know about that one. I've got a lot of friends at Melrose and at County, so I'll maybe see how the result goes.
Thanks for watching Warriors HQ. We finished this week's episode with footage from Monday's open training session when over 2,000 members of the Warrior Nation came along to Scotstoun to watch the boys train.